have a new commission for us.
That's correct. There's a requester who has submitted a designated commission for the two of you.
A designated commission? Sounds like it must be pretty important. What kind of task is it exactly?
There's no need to worry. This commission is not dangerous by any means. Perhaps you have heard that Inazuma will soon be holding a major festival, the magnificent Irodori Festival.
Yay! A festival! Oh, come to think of it, we haven't attended a festival in Inazuma for a while.
The Yashiro Commission and Lady Yae are responsible for all the festival preparations. The one who has requested your help is none other than Lady Yae herself.
You know Miko. She always has some unusual ideas in her head. You can bet a festival planned by her is gonna be one to remember. We'd better go to Grand Narukami Shrine and see what she needs us to do.
Lady Yae is currently at Yae Publishing House in Hanamizaka, so there is no need to go all the way to the shrine. In fact, she has instructed me to have you directly meet with her there.
Oh, well that's convenient enough. Let's go then.
Aratani and Kuroda, how are things coming along?
All the books and commission prints for Yae Publishing House were bound and sent out yesterday afternoon, Lady Yae.
Very good. And Murata?
We have already received word from Apekusu and Sailing Breeze that the materials are all in place for Shogun Almighty reborn as Raiden with unlimited power and Pretty Please Kitsune Guji.
Well done. And what about you, Onodera? Ahem. Onodera?
Oh, yes, Lady Yae. Everything is ready for the new issue release party.
You are the one who organized the plans for this release party. In other words, you are the team's fearless leader now. So please, show some confidence. Besides, there's no need to be nervous. This project is destined for success. I feel quite optimistic about it. I shall specially grant you leave for the next couple of days, Onodera. Please take the opportunity to have a good rest. After all, you will be very busy on the day of the release party.
Yes, Lady Yae. Thank you very much.
All right then, is everyone clear about their assignments? Good. We're running out of time, so let's get moving. Chop chop! Hello, little ones. I take it you have received my commission,
Some organizer you are! It's nearly time for the festival and you're still over here ramping things up for your light novel business! Shouldn't you be getting back to the Grand Narukami Shrine? You weren't thinking of dumping all the festival preparations on us, were you? If so, then you can forget it! Paimon won't accept such a commission!
My, such harsh words. It hurts to hear that kind of talk from you two. But as you can clearly see, I'm here working like a dog for the festival, yet you say I'm not doing my job. Let me ask you, little ones, whoever said that the festival must involve the Grand Narukami Shrine?
Huh? But isn't that a given? This is Inazuma after all.
Yes, that is true. But now that the Sokoku decree has been lifted, Inazuma is no longer the same nation that once resisted change tooth and nail. Therefore, rather than sticking to the same old traditional festival, the Yashiro Commission and I have decided to shake things up a little. This time we'll be holding an international cultural festival, distinctly Inazuman, but with a unique twist. I suppose I should start by telling you the origins of the Irodori Festival. Legend has it that there were 5 poets in ancient Inazuma who were supremely gifted in singing and writing poetry. They are known as the 5 Kasen. Every year, one of the 5 would present a collection of the group's poems to the shogun for review, which would then spark culture discussions regarding those works. Thanks to them, Inazuma's culture blossomed and gained great influence at that time. As time passed, people began creating various tales based on the 5 Kasen. The Iridori Festival was also developed as a result to show appreciation for their works, which so greatly enriched our lives.
Sounds like a festival that's really rooted in culture.
Indeed. To describe it in the words of the ancients, it'd be refined elegance. Unfortunately, with the flow of time, people have gradually forgotten about the 5 Kasen and the festival. Which is precisely why I've decided to revive the Iridori Festival by holding a cultural convention featuring light novels.
But wait a minute! Light novels?
Please stop looking at me with those baffled expressions. In ancient times, poetry was all the rage, but nowadays, the entertainment format of choice is light novels. The important thing is not the format, but the creative work itself. It is impossible to come up with anything fresh if you're stuck using some rigid format of the past. Speaking of which, don't you think that the concept of focusing on the now perfectly suits the current Inazuma? And besides, it's a great opportunity to reintroduce Inazuma to Ultivat through light novels. As they say, it's 2 birds with 1 stone.
Whoa, that was close. Paimon was nearly carried away by Miko's persuasive tongue. Come on, Miko! You can't fool us. We know you by now. This is all definitely stemming from your own personal interest.
I can't deny that my hobbies had no part to play in this. However, regardless of whether it's light novels or a festival, catching people's attention with a fresh concept is the essence here. Well, what do you say? Aren't you two even a little curious about what interesting things you might see at the festival?
Maybe a little. Oh, all right. Paimon's super curious now.
Come, let's pay a visit to the venue in Rito together. I promise that it will give you a whole new perspective on the festival. There we'll meet a special someone who will tell you more about your tasks. During the Iridori Festival, the area around the Outlander Affairs Agency will become the main exhibition space for light novels. Once things are in full swing, not only will there be lots of official and fan-created work on display, there'll also be exclusive giveaways, prizes, and new release parties. This small plaza in front of the International Trade Association will be called the 5 Kasen Plaza during the festival. And nearby shops will be selling special light novel merchandise. You
Wow. How should Paimon put this? It's definitely not your typical festival, but it sure looks like it'll be quite the Miko, what are these blank boards?
Yes, those are...
Ah, Lady I did mention that there would be some reliable helpers coming to assist with the festivities. At last, we meet again, Traveler and Paimon.
Oh, it's Ayato!
Preparing festivals falls under the Yashiro Commission's scope of
We were just about to discuss the boards over here.
Certainly. I assume you two already know that the Iridori Festival This Iridori Festival is not only the first major festival to be held in Therefore, the Yashiro Commission has personally invited several cultural celebrities from... For example, The artist we have invited to paint these portraits hails from the distant land of Mondstadt. The Ashiro Commission will arrange accommodations and food in Inazuma for each of the... which is precisely why it would be ideal to have someone familiar with both Inazuma and other nations of Tevat to serve as a guide. I knew you would catch on. It is our hope that this arrival schedule includes the details of the ships on which the guests will be arriving. All you simply have to do...
It's settled then. During the festival, most of...
This festival requires the full cooperation of the Tri-Commission, and there are still many minor details which require my attention, so I must excuse myself for now. I'll leave the guests in your hands.
All the details we need about the ships are on the timetable that Ayato gave us. According to the arrivals... The artist for... Hello! You must be here to take part in the Iridori Festival. We're the festival guides, and we'll show you around.
Yes, that's right. We are bards from Mondstadt. Word has it that Inazuma has undergone many changes of late. We hope to find...
These guests are all bards, aren't they? Well, where's... Huh. Strange. He's pretty famous in Mondstadt. Huh? Why's that? Oh, Paimon sees what you're getting at. Even though Venti no longer rules over Mondstadt, he's still an Archon. If he came rushing to Inazuma at the first mention of a festival, not only would it seem a little childish, it would also sort of be...
Mr. Honorary Knight, Paimon!
It's Klee! Were you also invited to the Iridori?
No, Albedo's the one who received the invitation. But because everyone in the Knights of Favonius has been really busy these days, Albedo arranged...
Greetings, Traveler and Paimon. After hearing that Inazuma was making preparations for...
Ha! Paimon knew it! Albedo's the one they've invited to paint the 5 cups.
It seems that you already know why I'm here. Just so you're... Oh, by the way, do you know what...
Yeah, the...
Great. Let's get going.
Wow, it's so beautiful here! So many things I've never seen before.
Slow down, Klee. Please. Telling Klee so many stories about Inazuma during the trip was... As a result, she could hardly sleep all the way here. It appears she's even more excited. Strange. It seems that the editorial director, well, Mr. Hirayama was supposed to meet with me and give me some reference materials about the...
You mean you had no idea what you'd be painting before you arrived in Inazuma?
I only know of the 5 Kasen by name, because of the sheer age of the tale. I'm the type of painter who can complete a painting quickly, as long as I'm inspired.
So when do the paintings have to be done by?
According to the festival plans, the portraits will be revealed one at a time throughout the various stages of the...
The day after tomorrow? Then you're already running out of time!
There's no need to panic. When I was working on light novel illustrations, because the manuscripts are shipped by boat, things were always tight and finished just last month. To ensure the latest book, I heard that my illustrations were sent to print as soon as they arrived in Inazuma. I still don't know how well they turned out.
Paimon isn't sure if she should feel sympathetic for your working conditions or compliment you.
Of course, I would still prefer to receive any possible reference materials in advance, so that I can be better prepared.
Oh, right! The editors of the Yai Publishing House will all be who knows? Maybe Mr. Hirayama's over...
Alright, it's worth a try. Klee, you haven't slept for a while now. Please...
Okie dokie. Don't worry, Albedo. I'll be on my best behavior.
This can't be happening. Kuroda and I will go back to Inazuma City for an emergency printing run.
Despite everything, we're still lucky that we found out today. If this had happened a few... Hey, do you think that's...
Well, the editorial director is on his way over there to...
Sorry to interrupt, but what's going on here?
Oh, hey, Traveler.
I'm looking for the editorial director, Mr. Hirayama.
Mr. Hirayama is currently at the warehouse down by the harbor.
Oh, hold on a second, Murata. Excuse me, but you must be Calx.
Yes, that's me.
My name is Kuroda. You must be inquiring about information regarding the fight. I do apologize, but please make yourself comfortable at the International Trade Association, and I will let Mr.
Oh, no need. You guys look super busy, so we...
Excuse me, but is there...
Huh? How did you know?
Since you were all aware that Mr. Hirayama... To add to that, despite being aware that I am Calx, you were still unwilling to let... After considering these factors, the only reason you would try to stall me is...
Well, I'm very sorry. The situation is just as you said, Calx. I suppose it doesn't hurt to... Earlier today, someone spotted... The Tenryou Commission was concerned about potential...
What? The books are missing?
Shh, not so loud. Not only is this book an eagerly anticipated release in the last phase of the Iridori Festival, but the author...
Because of the dire situation, Mr. Hirayama immediately hurried to the warehouse to determine whether the theft was
I see. It would be a great misfortune if A Legend of Sword would not be released. If Mr. Hirayama has gone to the warehouse at the docks, then I'll go down to see if I can be of any help.
So the author of A Legend of Sword is Jayu. Sounds familiar. Hey, isn't that Shincho's pen name?
Oh, do you know him?
Shincho would definitely be upset if he discovers his books are missing. Let's accompany Albedo to the warehouse, too. It's you! Why are you here?
I'm here on behalf of the Tenryou Commission, of course. Is that surprising?
No, Sarah, Paimon wasn't talking about you! So, Tone-Deaf Bard. The suspicious outlander in the warehouse wouldn't happen to be you, would it?
Considering the evidence, it appears that the suspicious outlander is indeed me.
As I have told you, you are a suspect. Before your allegations of theft and illegal entry as a stowaway are cleared, you are to remain silent. Don't make me say it again. Traveler, Paimon, do you know this self-proclaimed bard from Mondstadt?
Listen, Sarah. Knowing him, it's safe to say that he wasn't behind the theft. But...
Although he claims to be a special guest for the Iridori, and just a moment ago, We caught him in a dandelion wine crate near the sailing bridge. If it would help shed any light on the situation, then please.
Oh, Venti! You didn't really come here illegally, did you?
Ouch! Your words wound me. We've been apart for You arrived in Inazuma via similar means, or so I heard.
Similar means?
I merely jest. Fear not, for the person who sent me the invitation is none other than Kamisato Ayato of Yashiro Commission.
But why weren't you on the same ship as the other bard?
Well, once I received the invitation letter, I couldn't help but want to come to Inazuma a little early. It was then that I happened upon a cargo ship bound for Inazuma transporting dandelion wine. So, naturally, once aboard, I found the captain to be a kindred spirit, and I was treated to an abundance of fine liquor along the way. And when I woke up, I found myself in this warehouse with a Tenryo Commission General glaring at me from atop the grate.
Coming from Venti, this story...
Excuse me, I'm the owner of the stolen goods from the IA Publishing House, and based on what you just said, it seems you've been in the...
Actually, I did hear some faint footsteps.
Hmm? But if you click...
Oh.
Huh? What did you notice?
When it comes to burglars, they are generally associated with prying or rummaging through things. As for the sound of footsteps, because this is a warehouse where many goods are...
I see. But if that's the case, then we're back to square one.
No, not quite. From the facts that have been presented to us, we can draw at least 3 conclusions. First, whoever took the novels is not a spur-of-the-moment burglar. They had their sights on the books from the very beginning. I knew you'd catch on, Traveler. One person couldn't possibly... It goes without saying that Venti clearly does not match up with our culprits.
Yes, I agree with your reasoning. Mr. Hirayama, the Tenryo Commission will continue by investigating the warehouse.
Yes, understood. I'll leave it to you then.
I suppose I'm free as a bird then.
Not so fast. Even though we've cleared the theft allegations, we still haven't ascertained whether you're...
Aw, 'tis a shame. I thought surely after my honest account you might let me off the hook.
Sara's quite the meticulous one. So, where's your invitation letter, Venti?
Yes, the invitation letter. I'm truly sorry. I can't seem to remember where I...
How could you lose something so important?
Don't be mistaken. I was well aware of how important it was. Strange. Though I had a little too much to drink, I know that I kept it in a secure place.
If you were holding the invitation in your hand the whole time, then why did you put it down?
Well, to properly compare the taste of Mondstadt wine and Inazuman sake, I had to hold a glass in each hand. I couldn't both hold the invitation.
In which case, I believe there's only one place it could be. Have you figured it out, Traveler?
Huh? You're way ahead of Paimon. Do you two already know where the invitation letter is?
Ah, yes! I remember now. I knew you'd help me find it.
This is indeed an invitation letter issued by the Yashiro Commission. Now that we've confirmed this guest's identity, I have no further questions. However, starting tonight, I would advise you to stay at the International Trade Association. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be leaving now.
There goes Sara. All right, let's go talk to Mr. Hirayama about Albedo's reference materials.
Mr. Hirayama, I'm Calx. We had originally arranged to meet today.
Ah, yes, so you are, Calx. I'm very sorry that you've arrived in Inazuma only to find such a mess. These are the materials regarding the 5 Kassen. All the information that we could find is compiled here.
Let's see here. Yes, it's just as I had suspected. Monikers such as Suiko and Aoi no Okina aren't, though there were once many stories regarding. But, at the very least, we know that most of the stories were written according to a simple.
So, is the info useful for your paintings, Albedo?
To some extent, yes. However, I must admit that it is still lacking and, fails to fulfill the most.
I am sorry that this information is not as exhaustive as you had hoped. Though Lady Yai did say that there are many variations of the story, so all you need to do is follow through with what's in.
That does sound like something Miko would say.
Thank you, Mr. Hirayama.
Great. I'll leave it to you then, Calx. Tomorrow morning, Mr. Genyu, the author of A Legend of whether the stolen books are eventually recovered or not, the Yai Publishing House will do its best to ensure. You have my gratitude.
Well, seems there's nothing more. Huh? Betty? What are you doing over there? You don't want us to leave you behind, do you?
Traveler, Albedo, would you mind coming over here for a moment? There's something peculiar.
What is it, Venti? A piece of paper?
Indeed. When I awakened to find myself in the warehouse this morning, I discovered this paper in the cargo crate where I was sleeping. I didn't think much of it then. I thought it was merely a scrap piece of paper that had fallen into the cargo. After a quick glance, I stuffed it into a place nearby. But on second thought, I think it's worth having you take a look at what's written on it.
Let me see. Suiko chapter. Wait a minute. Isn't Suiko the name of one of the 5 Kasen?
The story told in this poem roughly boils down to Suiko getting tipsy and letting some poems that were meant for the shogun get stolen. This story sounds familiar to my ear. Where have I heard it?
Seriously? It's literally the same story you just...
Oh, indeed it is. Interesting.
Yes, I concur. The person who left this paper, but... why leave?
Alright, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Meeting together in Inazuma like this is a most...
Hey! You just over... and let's not forget that Albedo still has a portrait...
No, it's fine. Let's all go for a drink.
Wait a minute! What about your portrait?
As I mentioned before, I'm the kind of artist who can work quickly. If I use a model as reference for the piece, we must pay him back with the...
In that case, we'll need to order more dishes. One year, the poet Suiko made his way to Tenshukaku and presented the Kasen's work for the shogun's perusal. But a page from the works of Aoi no Okina had been torn out, and Suiko was questioned regarding the matter. Suiko pleaded guilty. He admitted to drinking at the tavern the night before, and vaguely recalled a mysterious figure approaching while he was intoxicated.
Wow, you really came through, Albedo. You were able to complete the first portrait before the opening ceremony.
Yes, it really is a sight to behold. Not only does it harken to the traditional style of Inazuma, but it also makes use of modern...
Hey, don't get too full of yourself, tone-deaf bard. You were just... Well, Albedo, who will be your next portrait?
The next one will be Aoi no Okina of the 5
Albedo, might I suggest waiting a little before starting on the next one?
Another story?
I believe he's referring to the possibility of finding another paper with tales of the 5 Kasen. According to the reference materials I was given.
Do you think the mysterious person who left the first paper will strike again?
It certainly is a possibility. Also, there are some points regarding the stories of the 5 Kasen that have left me... For example, the reference materials make mention of 5 legendary... It appears that throughout all the stories...
Yes, I'm also curious about these stories myself. But who knows? They may merely be akin to the old... So for now, we need but just wait patiently.